Prajyot, I thought we'd just come to you for a moment. You told us about the Druck digital ecosystem. This is a complete system, up to 40% efficient processes, I think it said. So that really led me to ask, do you have any future improvements planned to this? Are there higher percentages of efficiency that can be identified and achieved?
Yes, absolutely, Rob. But it's an interesting question for us, and we always strive to get higher, isn't it? I mean, that's where we want to be. Now, just to give a bit of more insights on how we achieve that. Now, calibration traditionally has been a very manual process. So it has been going on for as long as we have measurement equipment, really. And it not just applies to pressure sensors and hydrogen pressure sensors. It's a commonly known and established process, but it's manual. So it relies on someone going in the field, carrying a piece of measurement instrument, connecting it to every sensor in the field, writing down the data on a piece of paper, and then collecting that paper back, maybe putting that data in an Excel sheet, and then maybe jazzing it up a little bit into a sort of a certificate format. And then that paper has been kept in a filing cabinet and then long forgotten. Now, when an audit happens, then someone has to manually go back, find all those records, if they are still there. We all know the problems of paper records. They might go missing, might go on fire, the ink might fade. So there can be all sorts of issues with that. And then what we strive to do with the ecosystem solution is we provide you with the software that manages that process. And it takes unnecessary bits out. It takes the manual pen and paper aspect out. And we rely on instruments to measure the data accurately. So, for example, you have a portable instrument, you would connect it to the sensor, and the instrument itself records the values digitally. So you don't need a notepad, you don't need a pen. It's all captured directly from the sensor onto the portable instrument. The instrument then goes further and does the error calculations for you. So you don't have to go and use a calculator or whatever to do the math. It's all done. And it all happens in the field. And we call that documenting calibrators. And all our calibrators in that range have documenting features in them. So they work with the software. Now, the process is this. So we download the tests that are required onto the portable instrument. We take the instrument in the field, connect them to the sensor, collect the data, do the calibration process. If the sensors require changing or they require correcting, then in some cases they happen in the field itself. And in some other cases, we disconnect them, bring them in a workshop for further investigation. And if all is good, then we come back to a workshop, and we would then use that data that we have captured from the portable instrument, transfer it to the software. Now, the software automatically provides mechanisms to review it. So in some industries, you would require more than one person to sign a calibration certificate. It's a common phenomenon in Europe, for example. So you can all manage that in the software itself, and it will generate a nice PDF report for you. And that's where the efficiency is. So if you compare a completely manual process to a digital process, you can very well see the time differences. And from what we have experienced and from what feedback we have got from customers, 40% is just sort of an average figure. Some customers experience higher percentage of benefits. Some customers experience lower, but that's where the optimal 40% is coming from. Now, it depends on the application. It depends on the type of testing they perform, but that sort of varies. And that is where we would like to go higher. So some of the things that we are doing, as you asked, to improve that is, we are taking a look at inspections as a whole aspect, not just the calibration piece. So if you're doing an inspections, how can the software benefit? So we are working on those aspects whereby you can have a digital checklist where you can then manage it completely digitally. So again, taking the manual pen and paper aspect out of it and minimizing wherever we feel there is an error or a gap, we are trying to close that gap using digital technology solutions. So that's one of the aspects we are doing. And this is a journey. So as we would have more feedback, we would grow. as we see more areas of concern where we can hopefully mitigate that with better processes, better software solutions, integrated software solutions, that's where we would continue working.